Are we happy? Sure, we're happy. All right, good morning everyone. How's everybody doing today? So today I am going to give you the best raisin you have ever had. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to make sure we have a glass of water or a water bottle or something like that. You can be seated at a counter, you can be at home on your yoga mat, whatever works for you. But you're just going to be nice and centered, and if you want, you could even let your legs be out a little bit further if you don't feel like laying them down, whatever's comfy, as long as you're comfy there. And we're just going to start with some nice breathing. So you're going to start seated up nice and tall. You're going to inhale, and with that first exhale, we can close our eyes and let our shoulders just kind of drop away. We're just going to take a few breaths, definitely breathing in through the nose, and then out through the mouth. And if you're doing a good job of this, you should actually hear your breath on the way out. So inhaling through the nose, and then breathing out. Nice. So what happens, we'll keep that cycle going, but what happens for a lot of people is they tend to be chest breathers, upper body breathers. We're going to try and get that breath a little bit deeper into our abdomen. So breathing in, make sure your abdomen expands out, and then breathing out. With each inhale, we get a little bit taller. With each exhale, our shoulders drop down and away. The stress of the day is melting out of you right now. And we'll do 3 more breaths at your own rate. There is no 100% right way to do this. As long as you can start to feel that parasympathetic sense of calm coming over you. Slowly open our eyes to the room with our focus on the raisin that you see in front of you. So a couple of key things here. This raisin, I just want you to look at it for the first little bit. You can observe the shape of the raisin. Think about maybe where it came from. In fact, that's maybe a good exercise for us to run through. How did this raisin get here in front of you? It was grown on a vine somewhere. It was a grape, and that grape was harvested by a field worker, and they took that grape and they dried it out in the sun, and eventually it was packaged, most likely loaded onto a truck, and then driven to a local distributor, eventually to a store. But let's think about what's really in this raisin. So when you're looking at this raisin, maybe you want to pick it up now. Pick it up, look at it nice and closely. What is really in here? What did it take for this grape to grow into a raisin? There would have been sunlight to start. There would have been good soil to get that vine to grow up. Most likely there would have been somebody who tended the actual plant as it grew, make sure it had a good, clean environment. Where did the molecules come from that made this raisin? From the Big Bang. Okay, 14 billion years ago, 13.7 billion years ago, depending on which research you read. We had a whole bunch of stardust that was made and converted into these molecules that eventually became all the things in matter we see before us. So back to focusing on the raisin, we're going to use all of our senses here. I'm going to talk about a homunculus, a sensory homunculus. Don't smell it yet. You just want to look at it. Look at the edges. Maybe you see some shiny grooves, shiny ridges, darker colored grooves. Maybe you look at the top and you notice there is a little bit of a stem, or where the stem would have attached to the grape. The umbilical cord of that grape, where all the nutrients came in. Nutrients from the sun, nutrients from the soil. Flipping it around, maybe you squeeze that grape just a little bit and notice that there is just a little bit of moisture in it. Nice and soft. You can roll it back and forth in your fingers. If you look at the sensory homunculus, one of the most sensitive areas of your body is fingertips. So even just feeling those edges, bringing awareness to those edges as that raisin starts to roll through your fingers, back and forth, from side to side. Maybe you can notice that you're making the raisin a little bit softer. Inside of that raisin, there's going to be good nutrients we'll get into a little bit, but you have to wait. Now, this is going to sound a little bit funny. We can look at a raisin, we can feel the raisin, we can hear the raisin. Bring the raisin up close to your ear. What does it say? Hello. No, it doesn't. Okay. What does it say? Doesn't say much. Move it back and forth and listen to the sound of that raisin moving. You might hear a little popping, crunching sound as some of the inner nutrients are ground around inside. Maybe you take that raisin, listen to it with your other ear. Does it sound different? And bring that raisin to the front again. Look at it. Maybe it's a little bit softer. Maybe you've taken some of the edges off of it. Not maybe a little more shiny. Bring that raisin up to your nose, nice and close. And take a little smell. Can you smell that organic, free-range goodness? Do you guys smell the raisin? Okay. So back to the homunculus and our basic sciences here. The most sensitive area of your body, actually, fingertips are up there, but it's actually your lips when you look at most people. Take that raisin and just bring it to your lips, just the closest to your lower lip, and just let it touch. Just a little bit. Maybe lick your lips where the raisin touched. And you can get a residue of the taste. And if you retouch, more of that raisin will actually come off onto your lips. Now, I don't do this, but if you apply lipstick, I guess one thing you could do is take it and drag it to the side. Drag it to the side, giving yourself a nice raisin lipstick here. And once that's done, lick your lips again. You can start to get the sense of the taste. Maybe you touch it with your tongue, just a little bit. Checking the sensory receptors, the taste buds on the front of your tongue to see how it tastes. These are good raisins. Don't eat your raisin yet, okay? All right. You can take that raisin now, put it in between our teeth. We're not actually going to eat it, we're just going to hold it lightly in between our teeth. And you can take your tongue from the back and explore the back of that raisin again. What is the shape you feel? You can feel the little ridges, feel the little edges. Close your lips around the front. You can feel the shape underneath your lips at the front. Now we'll take that raisin and bring it to our tongue. So it'll be on top of your tongue. And as we know from basic sciences, our tongue has multiple taste buds in different areas. Move that raisin around your tongue. Have it at the front. Maybe bring it to the back. Don't swallow it. Take it to the side of your tongue. Take it to the opposite side. Maybe bring it back to the tip and let it touch the hard palate, the roof of your mouth. Already, you should probably feel some very good salivary amylase at work and saliva produced around that. Take that raisin. Maybe you're a chipmunk. Stick it in the side pocket. Bring it around to the front where you have your chewing tobacco. Okay? That was a joke, but all right. A lot of chewing tobacco in the class here. Okay? Bring it around to the opposite side. Now, this is one people don't usually do, but we'll take this raisin and move it from the lower jaw to the outside of the upper jaw, outside of the maxilla on this side. If you can, bring it around to the front, underneath your front lip, underneath your frenulum there. A little oral anatomy review here. And we'll bring it around to the opposite side, upper lip, upper jaw, by the maxilla. And then finally we can come back to center. And we'll take our time with this chewing. So the raisin will be back between your teeth. And what you're going to do is just the littlest end of it, you're going to try and bite that littlest end of it off. And all of a sudden you'll notice a little more taste in your mouth. A little more release of fluid. Even your own saliva will increase as you do that. Still back to our breathing, so a couple of nice breaths, enjoying that taste. You can even take the raisin and just pull on it a little bit of suction to bring that flavor in just a little bit more. You got to keep enjoying it. Take your teeth, go ahead and macerate it up just a little bit so your teeth are coming through, and just chomp, 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 chomp through it. Try not to break it apart yet. Releasing a little bit more. Honey, here's a raisin. You're going to catch it? Good work. All right. So now you should really start to feel, even though the raisin is still intact, you should feel most of the flavor through most of your oral cavity here. Let's go ahead and take that raisin and really chew it up now. Break it into some pieces. And then spread those pieces around your mouth. So back into your molars, by your incisors. Multiple bites, really enjoy it. Taking the edges, grinding it down, really enjoying the full flavor. Then you can begin to swallow some of the raisin. But there should still be little bits left in your teeth, in the crevices and cracks and everything. And then from here, we're moving our tongue around, picking up those little pieces of raisin that are left. Trying to clean out each one of your teeth. And that would be a mindful approach to eating a raisin. How good was that raisin? Okay, take your glass of water or your water bottle, have a drink. How good was that water? Right? Okay, so that's my mindfulness start of the raisin meditation right there. And we'll go ahead and get into our flow and practice right now.